MSMF Radio. Music. One language. Hey everybody, welcome back. This is Curl Jones with MSMF Radio. I hope you're all doing well. Well, you'll never guess who I have in the studio with me, so I'll go ahead and tell you. But I've got Truck Patch Revival. How are y'all?
Doing great.
Doing great. Thank you.
Thank you. If I can get you guys to introduce yourselves right quick.
Sure.
I'm Frank Caswell.
And you play...
I mainly play rhythm, guitar, and lead vocals.
Awesome. And you, sir?
And I'm Brian Sherwood, co-writer, guitar player, foot stomper.
He's one of the best
Backup
guitar
singer.
players. Yeah.
I got a thing for foot stomping.
Hey, me too.
I grew up in a Pentecostal church. So
I did too.
That's both of us. Yeah.
We did too. That's what I'm talking.
Virtual
We were just
high five.
talking about that. Sure did.
I love it. So, let's go ahead and talk about that foot stomping for a little bit. Tell me about memories in church growing up. Did you sing at all?
Yes. My whole family, my mother, both my sisters and my brother, we all had like a Southern gospel band. That's where I started playing. Brian actually played drums for us.
Yeah. Sure.
Where everything started. I think I started playing around 8 years old, something like that.
Wow.
And it was the same for me. I started playing drums in church at 6 years old, and it was nonstop revivals.
Yeah.
Something, and I was fortunate enough to grow up in a church that had 7 or 8 piece bands. So it was all live music as far as I can remember.
Yeah,
It's been a part of mine and Frank's life. So this is really all I know and that we know. So it goes back a long ways.
I love it. Speaking of revivals, did that influence the name of your band at all?
My dad is Raymond Sherwood, and he played music when I was growing up, and we were searching for a name that would kind of fit us. And Frank called me out of the blue one day, and he said, "Hey, what about Truck Patch Revival?" Because my dad was in a band called Truck Patch, and it was just Truck Patch, and I thought, and I used to laugh about it as a kid. It was a band called 21st Century, and then he said, "Well, we also had a band called Truck Patch," and so when Frank called me, he said, "In the revival because we're reviving the name."
I love it.
And the Truck Patch, we're from the Mississippi Delta, and that's just, if you've ever been to the Mississippi Delta, and I know you have because you said your father's from Greenville.
Yep.
So it's just all farmland.
You know.
So this,
Flat.
Oh, Lord.
Truck Patch, is a term that they used back in the day. Farmers would harvest some of their crop and take it, and the rest of it they would sell off a truck, and that's truck. That's where the name come from.
So that was it.
Kind of signature to where we're from relates.
Awesome.
Seemed to fit, so there we are.
It certainly does.
There we are.
And it's funny, there's so many memories that you tend to garner when you visit Mississippi. I know my dad bringing me down here from Greenville, Mississippi, and to visit his mom.
Oh, yeah.
There would always be so much music.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Tamales. And
Oh, yeah.
I think we went to like a juke joint after a funeral. It was
Oh,
a trip.
yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, directly after. Sometimes before. That's Mississippi for you.
Yeah. So
that's
tell me
exactly right.
your earliest memories of music in Mississippi.
Pretty much mine coming from, like I said, I was raised in a Pentecostal church, so it was kind of strict for me. I had to sneak off to listen to the music that I liked. It was kind of frowned upon by my family to actually listen to secular music. So
I know a lot of people when I was doing an interview one day and I said something about secular music, they were like,
Oh,
people
no.
don't understand that sometimes if you grow up in a really strict religious
You're
family,
right.
it's a separation.
It is, and so that's probably my earliest memory of actually just sneaking off to listen to Leonard Skinner album or something like something like that, Bon Jovi or something
The good stuff.
Guns N' Roses, it's stuff like that. That's what kind of what I grew up listening to secretly.
I love it. The secret lives.
Well, and because my dad didn't start really going to church with me and my mom till I was like 6, so he was in bands, and so I remember sitting on the floor for band rehearsal, and he frowned upon. He never wanted me to like really get in other bands like that, but like having it at home. We had records at home, so I grew up listening to everything Muscle Shoals, everything Stax, so, James Penn tunes, and then, of course, it was all the Al Green stuff from the High Tone, like anything from High Tone and Stax, so that sound was it, but like, going to BB King festivals really at a young age was like my first like live stuff. So we were steeped in that. It was like I knew then. I thought I want to do this forever, whether you make any money or not. We play because you have to. You know, I mean, it's just there. So
That's
I think
so cool.
I think it's got to come from that place. If it's not, it's not. You know, it's got to be organic, and it can't be. You know, there's so much music now that's over processed and so many beats and things, and that's fine too. But it's just, I just like a good, just pure music, just straight music. You know?
I call it Campbell's soupy. When
There you go.
It's way too Campbell's.
I'm going to steal that term. I'm going to use that later on Facebook.
Steal it. Go
on
ahead.
the Facebook, Frank's mom calls it.
Yeah, my mom calls it the Facebook.
The Facebook.
I read it on the Facebook.
I love it.
So it's true.
I like that commercial where that little old lady's sitting there. She's, I just unfriended you, and the lady's like, it doesn't work
This
that
is
way.
not how it works. Look at my pictures on my wall. I love that. That's great.
It is. So you guys, who grew up in Cleveland? Did someone grow up in Cleveland or right around Cleveland?
We both
We
grew
both
up.
did, actually. Yeah, we both did. Frank was on the outskirts, and I was always in the city. And I thought, well, you know, that's what I am. But now I live in the country, and I would never go back to the city. I don't think so. It's a good place to raise my kids, man. So, you know, my wife loves it. So she's happy. I'm happy.
Lots of room to stretch out. That's
Yes.
what I call
Right.
it. I got
Crank your
three-
guitar amp up a little bit louder out there, too.
Yeah.
I got 3 boys. I said, I've got to move back to Mississippi. I got to get my kids somewhere they can stretch
There
out
you
and
go.
run.
That's right. Tear
So
something up.
That's right. So speaking of the Delta in Mississippi, I want to talk about some of your music. One Star Delta Night.
Mm-hmm.
What inspired that song?
I was actually just riding around one night, and I was riding around with my wife, and I was we were uptown and was just looking out, just gazing at the sky. You know, it's like, you know, it's just one star, and she was arguing with me. She's like, "That's the moon." That's like, that's not the moon. That looks like a star. To me. And anyways, it just kind of turned into a kind of a romantic night, and I got with Brian. I said, "Man, we ought to write this song." I sent him the title, and he's like, "Man, that's a good title," and it just went from there. So,
I love it. So it's a love song.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I like that.
Well, you know, in Mississippi, there's a lot of back roads and a whole lot of countrysides and places you can just stop. And one thing that's just magical about it for us that we feel like, I'm so glad that even with all the negative tones sometimes, Mississippi was a great place to be from and grow up because of all the rich musical history.
Yes, indeed.
But like just being able to slow down and like look up at the sky. And when you're from the South, that's like your dance floor lights. That's like your disco ball. The star is like, okay, it's shining for us. You know, we're out
and,
here. And,
all the young guys out there that might be listening, there's nothing more romantic than to stop on like the old gravel road,
That's right.
open both the truck doors up, turn the radio up, and just slow down in front of the truck,
That's right.
in front of the lights.
so it's just
romantic.
a rural narrative. Yes.
The rural romance.
That's
I mean,
right.
the novel.
That's going to be the next album title. We're stealing that too. I got a lot of stuff I'm stealing today. I'm doing mental notes. I'm putting.
Might have to have a license fee.
Yeah, license fee. Mr.
Oh,
Peter
no.
Whittam always got the
I know.
business on the brain.
We were discussing that. That's right.
Gotta love him.
Yeah.
That's fine. I think it's great.
I love it. And I love a romantic. That's the best for me.
Yes, me too.
And
Me
since
too.
we're on that topic, I definitely want to talk to you about Love Me Not. Tell me about that tune.
Good, bro.
Oh well, okay. My daughter, I have a 7-year-old now. She just turned 7 in May, and I have 2 daughters and 1 boy. But my littlest, she came home from school, and it was just the typical stuff. And I didn't want to hear stuff about who likes me or whatever. I thought you're way too young. I wanted to put her in, the closet, and lock it up. But anyway, somebody had taught her the just a little flower game, and she was saying it, and I was thinking, and it just hit me. I thought, okay, and I had this tune rolling around in my head, so I thought. Because sometimes there's a lot of love songs about the women being done this way or that way, and sometimes people think of guys as, well, he's just a Neanderthal and he don't have feelings, and I thought, we hurt too. The guys go through stuff, and I think go through breakups sometimes worse than women, maybe, or whatever, and I just went to Frank's house, and we were trying to write it, and like I said, we just thought it was going to be garbage. I said, this is not what I thought it was going to be, just forget I said anything. And then he wrote a second verse to it and sent it back to me, and we realized, okay, and it was kind of a slow builder, but now we go places, and that's one of the ones that we get requests for. Yeah.
Wow.
Those 2 songs are probably the most requested, other than Stomping Grounds.
Really?
Yeah, Stomping Grounds is just a fun, dance song. So.
Yeah,
I call it a non-thinker. It's one you can you can hear it, and it's like, okay, this is just a dance too. So and you got to have those too. But that's where Loves Me Not came from. Just something simple, and it just grew to something else. So
I so
That's
much.
it.
And I'm loving this whole rural romance vibe.
Oh
I
yeah.
love it.
Oh yeah.
I really-
Absolutely.
I was listening to I have this little ritual I do to prepare for everything, and I went and I listened to some of your music earlier this week, and then this morning, the two
Awesome.
songs that stuck in my head that I was kind of singing back were the Delta Night song and
Awesome.
the Love Me Not. And I was
That's
like,
awesome.
That's just precious.
Yeah.
But I'd love to get into your science of songwriting. How do you guys
Okay.
come up with such beautiful romantic songs?
You wanna?
This might sound stupid, but
No.
this is the way I do it. I kind of get a subject that I want to write about, or a topic, or whatever, song title, just a starting point, basically, and then I kind of imagine kind of like a music video in my head, and once I get that rolling, it just lyrics I just kind of describe and what I see in my mind, and that's basically how I do it.
That's so awesome.
And it's different for different people because I do some of that too. But like when it comes to the romantic stuff, my wife, love my wife, and I mean it's easy to write, but like
Better.
it's hard to write for her. And then I finally realized that I'll never be able to really say what I want to say, so I kind of dial it back. But like when it comes to writing, sometimes I'll get a pen and paper, and anybody that's listening that may want to, like writer's block. I had a guy tell me, he said, writer's block is just fear of writing a bad song. Sometimes you got to get the goofy ones out there and let them go. But I'll write stuff down like a story and then trim away what I can use and what I can't use.
Yeah.
Or if you're writing and somebody's trying to come up with something and, read the newspaper, get titles from different places and just, different ideas. Also, observe people. People are walking songs and stories
They are.
constantly. So.
I mean, that's I've written stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I've got notebooks on top of notebooks of just
Oh,
little
yeah.
one-liners that I'll just say, well, that would be a good little hook line
Yeah.
or something. Just write it down. I may not ever do anything with it, but it's there when I go to writing.
Mm-hmm.
So
I love that. That's like our house. We have stuff jotted on paper.
yeah.
My husband and I were closeted musicians, and we just
That's awesome.
stuff written everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
But I think that's so cute. You just said something to me that was so profound. You said that, gosh, don't let it escape me that fast.
Oh, that's okay.
You said that
I know the feeling.
writer's block
Yeah.
is just a fear of writing.
I
a
think
bad
so.
song.
I think
Yeah.
so because in your mind, I think no matter what you're writing, if you're writing a book or writing whatever, I think sometimes the pressure to feel like, okay, this has got to be perfect and it's got to say what I want and I want people to like it. But the thing is, if you like what you do and you really believe in what you write, other people believe it too. I moved to Nashville a few years back and that was the way I played some places where I wasn't used to people really listening to me. And I realized, wow, they're really, really listening and paying attention. And what I thought was something simple, somebody comes up and says, hey, you know what, that really hit me in my heart. And that means a lot to me. And I thought, I could get used to this. This is nice to, and so you got to be real with yourself first. If you're real with yourself, it'll come across that way.
Yeah.
If you're trying to just generate something, I think it comes across that way too. But.
That's good advice. Tell me about your time in Nashville. How was that? Because that is a real critical listening environment.
It was great. I learned a lot for free. I mean, music, you can just hang out on the streets in Nashville. It's a school, And I met a lot of people and wrote with a lot of cool people and had some songs get put on hold, and then nothing ever came from it. And me and Mr. Pete, we were talking about the whole license thing. So now I would have a completely different approach. But back then I was young and green, and it was a great experience. And I got to play with a lot of cool people, open for a lot of big name acts and stuff. And so it was great. And it's a wonderful city. It's the biggest little city I've ever been to. Everything kind of, we were talking earlier too, everything revolves on a small axis, but it was a wonderful learning experience, and it taught me a lot, and I brought back a lot, and so I'm a better musician for it and a better writer for it, because just learn to just be real. It's you're gonna have fake everywhere you go, but there were some real cats in Nashville that were just like, something good to say. So it was great. I enjoyed it.
I'm glad for you. A friend of the foundation who we actually had in here a couple months back, Derek Joseph. He spent some time. I don't know if y'all know each other. He spent some time in Nashville.
I know the name. Yeah, I mean it's a great city. Great city. We played We were able to play CMA Fest last year. We were invited to come up. Weren't able to go this year recording the album, so we had some conflicting dates and stuff. But we got to play with some people like Gretchen Wilson and James Otto and Still Magnolia, Megan Lindsay, and a lot of cool people.
It was a real fun time too.
Yeah.
I love Gretchen Wilson. People are gonna be shocked, but one of my favorite songs is I'm a red.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I
Well,
love that song.
I relate to it because I have kinfolk. I have people that they're that song
Yeah.
right there. So
They-
it's
they
just
really
you know.
are.
That's my favorite thing to do.
Man.
Before I moved to Mississippi, I used to turn it up in my car, and I said, I'm going to freak people out today.
Yeah.
I used to roll down
like,
the windows,
wait a
the
minute.
afro blowing.
I love it. Well,
is
we
going
but you know what? That's the perfect example that we were talking with Mr. Peter earlier and talking about music is a universal language. I mean, it crosses all lines, color. It doesn't matter. And even with musicians, I've jammed alongside of people that we couldn't even speak the same language, but you know what? You pick up a guitar and he picks up drumsticks, and it's like, hey, buddy, we're on the same playing field, and it's beautiful. It's just wonderful.
It is.
I love it.
Well,
Absolutely
that's so
love
awesome. You guys are cool.
it. Oh man,
Tell me
you
about,
are too.
Well, thank you so much. If you guys had to sum up your sound, the sound of your band, how would you sum that up in a couple of words or so?
I mean, what would you say? I hate to actually categorize ourselves, but I maybe like country rock, Americana rock, roots rock, with a little bluesy twist.
I love that.
I definitely agree with that. And I would say, I like the term, I would say just blue collar. It's just, I mean, because people can hear something because we write about, you know, just like Good Old Days, one of the songs we're going to do. I wrote it a long time ago, and it's just about growing up.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just me, but somebody else has lived the same story. So I think, you know, and it's not just for blue collar, but I mean, people relate to it that you know, come from areas like that. I mean, you know, it's just
that's what
Americana
we're trying to do.
sound.
You know, we just want to write music, good music that people can relate to.
It matters to
You
people.
know, we're
It
not
matters
trying to
me.
write the next #1 hit, but I mean,
But you might.
we might, you know.
That would be great.
That'd be great.
I'll definitely
We'll take
make
it if
sure.
it comes along, but you know,
Yeah.
we're just trying to make good music that people can relate to.
And it's fun and can dance to. That's,
Yeah.
I mean, hey,
Yeah,
you got to have that too. So,
That's right.
you know, it's fun.
And that's the awesome thing about music from Mississippi. It's so relatable. You know, it's
Oh,
not
yeah.
haughty. It's not all full of this, and it can be. I'm not.
Oh, yeah.
It's not all
Sure.
full of all this pomp and circumstance. You can just get down to it and talk about real emotion.
You're right.
Right.
And I think that comes from definitely a big blues influence because blues influence was definitely, they said what they wanted, whether it was love, about
Right.
a woman, about alcohol or whatever. If they wanted it, it's, hey, this is what I want. You know, from Muddy Waters, Hoochie Coochie Man, to, you know, Elvis and whatever. I mean, and so it's just, it is what it is. But because of Mississippi, you know, especially when you get up in this area, you know, people don't realize there'd be no Black Keys without, you know, R.L. Burnside. I mean, you know, so there'd be no North Mississippi All-Stars. So, you know, and that's just a small Mississippi influence. So, once again, I'm proud to be from Mississippi for that fact. So, you know, music is definitely it for me.
I love it. I was watching some footage of y'all performing.
Oh, boy.
And I want to talk about performing live. How is that?
Oh, it's like a drug to me.
Really?
I can't live without it.
Really?
Great.
That's just what I thrive on.
Yeah.
When I don't do it, you know, we kind of took a break for a little while to record the album, a couple of weeks. You know, even though we were still in the studio, it's a little different from playing live. And it's just, I'll call Brian up. It's like, man, I'm just ready to play. I'm itching. I gotta scratch that itch. You know, and when you don't get to do it, it's kind of depressing to me.
Yeah.
But just one show picks it right back up. So
I love it. Y'all seem, I mean, so at home.
Oh,
Like,
love it.
really?
And I think that comes from, you know, growing up. Like I said, we grew up
Yeah.
on stage. I mean,
Yeah,
so
we did.
being
So,
on
man.
stage in front of people was natural for us. And not in a like a, oh, look at me, you know, but I mean, it's just, it's comfortable for
we're
me.
just there.
You know?
Yeah. We're just there playing music in church. From, like I said, I started playing guitar when I was 8, and I matter of fact, I played my first song on the guitar and sang at 8 years old in church. So.
Really?
And like Brian, he was playing drums
Yeah,
at 6.
Sure was.
That's pretty amazing.
So it was natural.
Yeah, it's just always been there. So.
And when you get to play in front of people, your stuff that, you know, our songs never get old to me because they become brand new again in front of people that's never heard you. Or people that might have looked up something. they're getting to see you, live, and just so it's always engaging, and and I try to, when I'm on stage, I'll find at least one. Somebody told me this other guy that was in a band that I knew. He said I always try to find somebody in the crowd that's really locked in. He said, and man, that's my go-to spot for the night. That I'm like, that's right.
I find myself doing that a lot too.
It's important, and it's special. I mean, live music is just, and that's what I say. Go out, support it. Even if it's not your cup of tea, we were talking about this earlier, find something to appreciate about it, and go support live music.
You never know. It's like
original music.
We were talking about, we have a original venue in Cleveland called Hey Joe's. It's really a hamburger restaurant, but they all they do is original music. And I heard this band there one time. I've never heard of them before then, and they're called the Delta Saints. And they're out of Nashville, and they were really awesome because normally I don't find myself, because they play a lot of different stuff that I don't normally listen to. Not saying that I don't like it, I just don't normally listen to it. And went in there this time, and I was really just digging that band. And you just don't never know who you're gonna come across.
You never know.
Yeah.
You never know. So I say take a chance, and go, go listen to something original, and you'll find something you like. Just like with us, even though we do what we do, there's people. Well, just like you enjoying something. I mean, we get people that men and women or whatever, and just they'll say, "Hey, I really liked it," and you never get tired of hearing that. And and it's important. I say that to somebody listening to. If you have an original band that you really like, make sure they know. Let them know because it's a struggle sometimes. We were talking about this. We've had projects fall through. We've been with different publishing companies. We've been with a couple of different record companies, and so it's not always somebody getting started in it. It's not always going to be what you think it is, and you have to know who you are as a person. That way, no matter what comes, it's not going to shake you off of that foundation. You're like, at the end of the day, I'm still a singer-songwriter. This is what I do, and I believe in my music. I don't care what this one said or that one said or what deal fell through. You got to know. So support original music and let people know that their music matters to you, because that's better than any royalty check. And I mean, the money's great or nice, but we were talking about that too. You can't do it because you think it's going to be that,
right?
And so I think that's really important. It's important to me. So
Gosh, there's just so much content in that segment right there. I have so many questions just swirling around in my head.
Sure.
I want to talk about, you were talking about the business and royalty checks. And, and just being knowledgeable about the business. How do you guys stay, because there's so many snakes. How do you guys stay away from that?
It's hard. I've been burned several times and spent probably thousands of dollars that I feel was just pretty much wasted on different promotion companies and saying they would do this and this and this, and really turned out they really wasn't, because I was new into the business. But I really learned a lot when I was signed on with Take Music Group in 2009, 2010. I really learned a lot with them. They're out of Oklahoma City. But that was really my first taste of really getting into the corporate aspects of the music business. So.
And were you kind of shocked, or did you? Because a lot of people don't really think of it that way.
No, it was really a learning experience. It really changed my views on the music business, because before, when you're not really into it, you think of all the glamour, and it was like, when I first, they contacted me, well, we really like your music, we want to sign you, and I was just all pumped up, it's fixing to make it, I'm fixing to do my dream, do what I love doing, and it just didn't worked out for a little while, and I up and quit my job, and I was like, we're telling everybody in town, they're running articles in the paper about me, and you thinking you're all big, and then you realize that it's not going to work out exactly like you think it is. So, but it was a good learning experience. So.
It was a good learning experience. I'm thinking, I'm just listening to that, and that seems like it could be a little devastating. More than a little.
I mean, you get to the point where they were sending us out, and we were playing in the southeast region. Mississippi, Alabama. We played some in Florida, Kentucky, South Carolina, and just coming in that once the CD sales started to drop off, that's when they started cutting money. So without money, it's just kind of, with somebody funding you, it's kind of hard to do all the traveling and stuff. So.
Well, we have a lot of young listeners that are tuned in, and I know, being that you've been in the music game and you've been through these different experiences, is there one little tidbit that you would, with regard specifically to business, something that you would be able to share with them so they would just know that, hey.
You just really need to sit back and think. If somebody's willing to invest into you, they're probably legit. If they're, asking for money right off, if you'll invest this into us, we'll invest this into you. That's usually probably isn't a good deal if they're asking for money up front.
That's good advice, and thank you for sharing that. That was a very personal experience, and thank you for sharing that with us.
That was hard.
Yeah,
you go through stuff like that, but Mr. Peter said something a while ago. We were talking, and I'm going to use it because it's true. We were talking about if you're doing it and you love to do it, just like he said, if you love to do it first, you got to love it. If you love doing it first, and then if you happen to make some money at it and it comes along, that's great. But if you don't make any money at it, you still get to say, I love what I do.
Yeah.
So it's a win-win.
Right.
And you do your research, like Frank said, do your research and really think about who you are as an artist and what you want to do. And where you're coming from, and also if you're in a certain style or you believe your influences that influenced you, to dig even deeper, see who influenced them, and that chain keeps going, and that way you can really kind of become that's just. I was told that at one time, and it really made an impact on me, and it made a difference. So
it's like the rabbit hole,
right? That's right. Don't just stop there.
Yeah.
Right. That's right. That's right.
Go and dip into that. Well,
absolutely.
Not that Reverb Nation coined the term rabbit hole, but it's just you kind of have to dip into it. If you are influenced by somebody, go see who influenced them and just go deeper and deeper into that.
That's exactly right.
I love that. And I know you guys were talking earlier about venues that support original music. I'd love to know, some of your best experiences playing new music, original music.
We our first really show we played as the band we are now was at Hey Joe's. I mean, it's a real cool venue. I mean, I like it. It's in my hometown, but I mean, what was your favorite?
Yeah, we've like I said, getting to play some of the stuff in Nashville. Nashville was great.
Yeah, BB King. We were downtown Nashville, BB King's on the main level, and
that's fun.
And that was just a fun trip because we got to set up. They set our stuff up. We set our stuff up, and then we walk out the back door of BB King's, and we're chilling with James Otto and Gretchen Wilson, and then right down there on the river stage, the Chevrolet River stage, Hunter Hayes and Aaron Lewis. I mean, we got to hear numerous concerts just sitting there, And these are, people you hear on the radio every day. So it's just really great, And all these people were just really down to earth and really cool to hang out with. So
yeah, that's so cool.
It is, and I've been able to, like I said, before me and Frank started playing together again, I've been able to play the Bluebird Cafe a couple times in Nashville.
Really?
Yeah, and it was wonderful because that was one of those places where they really listen. But we've also been able to open, do some stuff, and we've played just some what I call hole in the wall places, but people really just really kind of just zone in on.
Well, the best singer songwriter place I played is a place called the Tin Roof Revival in Nashville.
Oh,
and I've played it twice. And a buddy of mine,
it's a cool place.
A buddy of mine, Rob Snyder, actually runs it. He's a great singer songwriter himself, and he actually, matter of fact, me and him last time I went up, me and him just wrote a new song while we were up there. So I'm interested to see how that's going to turn out too. It's a really good song.
I am too. That's so neat. You guys have just the best stories.
Oh. It's been a blast, and we look forward to just a lot, just doing a lot more stuff and meeting people and just it never gets old, never gets. But that's just like being here today. I think it's great that there's a foundation finally, and couldn't believe that there wasn't one before, and so it needs to be more crusaders like that pushing. I mean, because like I said, Mississippi, between Oxford and up here, a little further up north and down south, there's so many good songwriters and musicians, and
it's just like we were talking earlier. Texas music scene, the Georgia music scene. You know, Georgia has the Georgia Music Award, the Georgia Country Music Award. You know, Mississippi doesn't have anything like that.
Right.
So I mean,
we need that with so much music history here in
Yeah.
the state.
Oh, there could definitely be a Mississippi music. I mean, you know, it's just
it's a lot of stuff moving forward. Like Cleveland, our hometown, we're fixing to have the second Grammy Museum that's in the world. You know,
yeah. The only one outside of LA, and it'll help a lot with putting more Mississippi stuff. But just like, this is an important organization. I mean, like I said, I can't say enough how wonderful, and just to be here today, we're honored to be here today because there's so many musicians and writers that could be here, and so we feel like we're just a small drop in a big bucket of water with everybody else. So we're honored to be here, and
We
just
are honored to have you
oh,
here.
it's great,
Thank you.
fantastic.
Thank you so much. I
Absolutely.
have a couple more questions for you guys because you guys are just a wealth of knowledge here. I know we talked about performing live.
Mm-hmm.
I want to talk about your recording studio sessions. You know, how do you guys prepare to get the most out of your recording sessions?
To be honest, I didn't prepare any.
It's
Keep it raw.
Yeah, well, and like you said, going in, because I'll say this, you know, we've done it so much that you kind of, but like somebody first going in, I would say this, you know, try to, once again, do your research. Like if you're working with somebody that will help you to become who you are, and going in, have a game plan of kind of the way you want things to sound, but also open to change, because the producer or somebody may come in and say, hey, this would sound good here or there, and you know, it's
having a good engineer, having a good producer is very vital to the sound you create. I mean, that's if you had to prepare anything, that's what I would research your producer, get somebody that's knows your sound and knows what you're trying to work towards.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, because in the studio, it can feel more sterile sometimes, because live you've got this energy, and it's okay if you make a mistake on live. You know, you just keep going. It's like a freight train, and it's just this freight train of raw energy. But in the studio, you do have to reel it in and say, okay, we're going to need another 55th take of this, and you're like, and by that time you're like, I hate this song, and so sometimes, and I'll say this, if you're struggling with a song, I don't know if y'all do this here or not, or you recommend it to people, but I always say this. Move on to something else sometimes and come back, because you don't want to lose your energy and sing your vocals negative, and you're like, this sucks and I hate it. Yeah. And so sometimes you have to back away and, you know, breathe for a minute. But recording's really wonderful. It's just the truth, you know, it's something you do. So,
and you know, we had the great opportunity this time. A buddy of ours, which I've known him pretty much all his life, is Clayton Gregory. And I think he lives in, where does he live?
He's in Birmingham now. He went through the DMI program.
Yeah, he went through the Delta Music Institute, and you know they really helped us out a lot in this little album.
Yeah, Trisha Walker.
Yeah, we got to send a shout out to Trish.
Yeah,
she really helped us out a lot. And
that's so awesome.
So
got a good
sounds
group
like
of people
you guys
there.
have met your fair share of great people along the way.
Absolutely. Been blessed to be able to get
very blessed to meet the people that we've met and do the things we've done. So
that's so awesome. Speaking of meeting great people, tell me about how you stay connected with your fans.
Well,
Facebook.
Yeah.
Facebook.
It's you know, that's the age we live in now. I mean, it's, you hate it and you love it sometimes, but it's definitely the fastest way. Even when me and Frank Wright, we were telling Peter that, you know, I can record something on my phone, and I'm like, boom, email it, send a clip to.
Yeah, we do that a lot, because I mean, we both have children, young children, that, you know, we want to spend our time when we're not on the road traveling or working or whatever. We want to spend as much family time as we can. So we email sound clicks, sound files or whatever back and forth, and I'll text them, hey, check out this new idea, and send it to him.
I love it.
So.
But like you said, but with fans, you know, it's you know, just keeping them, you know, if you just keep people in the loop, you know, that's just like with Twitter, you know, when we're writing a new tune or something like that, people like to know that. So to somebody listening that's writing or has a band, never underestimate what you think is the smallest thing, because, okay, that's like if you have a favorite actor or singer-songwriter, you want to know that, they're working on a new album. You just want to know.
Yeah.
And it kind of keeps you in that family feeling of like, okay, they're not just somebody I listen to. They think enough of me to say, hey, look, you know, we wrote a new song today. And some people would think, oh, man, who gives a crap? Well, some people do, you know, and somebody that likes your music, they want to know, oh, great, can't wait to hear it. So, you know, so I would say keep your fans in the loop. You know, if you're doing
Interact
something
with
small
them,
or
yeah.
whatever, just tweet about it. You know, or Facebook or Instagram. You know, you're doing something cool. Snap a picture. I mean, it's there, so I say use it.
Brian's the Instagrammer.
Really?
Oh yeah, I love it. Oh my gosh,
I haven't jumped on the Instagram yet. I'm a Twitter girl, and I love.
Yeah.
I still love my Facebook.
Oh,
I know
yeah.
they say it's. I still love my Facebook.
Oh yeah, you love the Facebook.
The Facebook.
That's right.
The Facebook.
Yeah.
That's right.
But I love
You
it.
know,
Instagram's
Brian's
awesome.
Brian's got me hooked on Instagram now.
Yeah,
so
man, it's great.
I go hashtag crazy.
Really, I'm gonna have to get on that bandwagon.
Oh yeah,
I love
it's
my
good.
hashtags now. I love
Yeah,
some
the
Yeah.
hashtags.
Well, you've got people search, and also to somebody that's maybe new to Instagram. I know that sounds kind of crazy, but you know when you do, you've got people searching for hashtags. So when you're writing or you're promoting your band, if it's got a certain style, hashtag it because there's
Hashtag
people that get on there and search
They do.
hashtag country music, hashtag rock and roll,
Right.
and you pop up in that thread. So use the media. Like I said, it's there. Use it.
Yeah,
Use it.
for your advantage.
That's really
Let it
good.
work. Let it work for you. So I mean, you know.
Don't hear a lot of people say that. Most people are like, "Oh, it's the devil."
Well, you know, it can be if you keep drama going on with your mama's cousin that don't like this, that, you know. That's why I try to stay family out.
Yeah.
You know, I leave.
Yeah, I mean, I post some pictures of my family, but mostly
Oh,
my,
yeah.
my Facebook and Instagram is just music. We
Yeah.
It's just for networking, you know, and so that's. Me and my wife are the same way. She's not a big, you know, she's an artist and she
Yeah.
paints, so
Oh, really?
hers is just for her
Just-
like
yeah.
kind of artwork. So she's not into
She's
the
great,
drama.
too.
I appreciate that. She is. I don't know how I got her, but you know,
I really don't know how you got into
I,
it.
I don't want to figure that out either. Maybe she'll stay longer.
Well, I want to.
She'll stick around. She'll stick
Well, I want
around.
to talk about your family. That was my next.
Sure.
I want to talk about, I mean, my daddy's a rock star. I mean. my
Oh
brother's a
man,
rock
they.
star.
Well, you know something. My smallest. She's my encourager. Now the bigger kids, they've always been that too, but they're at that age where it's kind of like, yeah, Dad plays guitar, and it's kind of they don't see that. But she's like, Dad, just like today, you're going to the radio. I mean, everything is just big and grandiose in her eyes. I mean, she's just like she's into that, you know, for Dad. So. She's great, and she's 7, and her name's Malia, and I have a 12-year-old named Zoe and a 13-year-old named Ashton, and so I got 2 girls and a boy, and my wife is Jackie, and so
Beautiful
we've
family.
been married a long time, and still just, and you know what though, it's just like music. It's still the passion that's there that I never get tired of seeing her. I
Yeah.
mean, whether it's been every day or like we come home from a weekend of playing, I still get those butterflies like I do when I was in school, and you had that crush, and it's like, wow, that's my woman, that's my wife. So it fuels my fire for music. So I never have to go very far for the love and romance. And so when I'm writing a tune, she'll hear me playing something, and she's like, I don't know about you singing that on stage with these women hearing, and I'm like, baby, you know who it's for.
I know.
It's for you, but you know,
for you, girl.
other people need, you know, there's some guy somewhere wishing there was a song like this he could dedicate. So, okay, as long as it's that.
Right.
But you know, that's my song first.
I love it.
I'm like, you got it, baby.
I love it. See, that's the whole
Yeah.
incentive behind marrying
Sure.
a man from Mississippi or has anything
Hey.
to do with Mississippi. They call you your woman.
Oh, she
Come here,
is,
woman.
man. She
Woman.
is. She's my baby now.
Or
She
this-
knows it.
Or the sweetest thing, like my husband, I can tell he was groomed by a bunch of men from Mississippi, and he'll just say, "Come here, girl."
Oh,
I'll be
yeah.
Like,
Oh,
coming,
yeah.
I'm coming.
And you know, and it's I just you hang on a minute, I'll be there. And you know, all the stuff I grew up listening to, and it was just that way. Everybody was so passionate about whatever they did, even if it was something you wasn't into. The passion level is just off. I don't think, and no offense to any other state or whatever, but when it comes to like just passion in music and things like that, I don't think anybody comes close.
I know,
As
that's
far as
right.
like whether it's you're a lover or an artist or all things rolled into one. I mean, it's just like everything's just fire, man.
That's
it's just
right.
like, you know,
Dang, you couldn't have said that.
it
better.
is. It's just like it is. It's like just it is. It's just
I have this little thing I always say, like
Man.
with other states. Y'all might have clam chowder. You might even have the Grand Canyon, but we got music.
that's right. You know, it is the birthplace of America's music. Yeah, absolutely. You know, I mean, you know, everybody that I grew up listening to, I mean, had something to do with Mississippi, and it wasn't by chance. I mean, they were either influenced or from here. So, you know, I mean, that's just.
I'm even rocking my Elvis tee.
Oh yeah.
Hey.
Well, you know, I mean, you know, the same state that produced Elvis and B.B. King, we also got Conway Twitty and Charlie Pride.
Hey.
I mean, so come on, you know, I mean, it's that, you know, Sam Cooke. I mean,
a lot of people.
yeah, I
Listen
mean,
to
you know,
Duke.
Ike
Yeah.
Turner. I mean, it's so many people that just, you know, Clarksdale right down the road. I mean, it's just,
There's a bunch of musicians. That
absolutely.
My goodness.
But it's wonderful.
I can't let you get out. I want to hear all about your family. My dad is a rock star stories.
Well, yeah.
Oh yeah.
They, yeah, that's because they go to my oldest two, which are 9 and 7, with Jackson and Marley. They go to school and tell all their friends that my dad's famous. He's on the radio.
Oh, yeah.
And they just and then my little girl, we call her Biddy. Her name's Kennedy. We call her Biddy, and she's 4. They're all fisting. All of them, but my youngest, his birthday's in July. But all the other 3 are in June, so they're all fisting to turn a year older. So
that's so cool.
Pile them up.
That can't be too easy for
it's
the
not.
wallets.
No,
All the birthdays.
That's right.
Especially now, they're getting older. They're wanting more expensive
Tablets
stuff. Yeah.
and iPads and pockets or whatever the newest thing.
Yes,
Yeah.
whatever all that stuff is, gaming.
But my little girl, she was acting like she was announcing, and she's like, we used to be the Frank Castle band, and this was a little while ago. She was acting like she was on stage, and now here's the Frank Castle band, and so it's stuff
great.
like that just makes it all worthwhile for me.
That is so neat. So your families are really supportive.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah.
And most important, because without them helping support that, we wouldn't do it. If it came down between that and whatever, family, because we made that choice to have families, and you can make it work. You make it work. I mean, it's not ever going to be the money that you spent, but it'll be the time that you spent that the kids will remember, because that's what I remember growing up.
Yeah.
I don't remember things that were bought for me and that were broke.
Oh, yeah.
I remember certain toys, but I remember the fishing trips and the trips to here or there, whatever, more than I do anything.
That's just this year for their birthday. I've done talked to them. It's just, instead of getting y'all a whole bunch of presents, how about we just go to Arkansas and let's go camping?
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll actually rough it.
That's the best.
Yeah.
And so they're all excited about that. So that's what we're going to do.
Excited too. You have to tell me how that goes. That's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
And we know that family's important to you because I met your beautiful family.
Yeah, we did.
And your very handsome husband, strapping husband in here.
You.
Beautiful family. So no family's important to you too.
They are my boys. They're
Yeah,
my boys.
beautiful boys.
They're a lot of trouble, but they're a lot
But
of fun.
well, something, I got to say they're very polite. That is rare. I stay on my kids about them like, if you don't remember anything, you remember yes sir and no sir, and you be polite and you speak. When people look at you, you speak. And even your youngest, I was just caught off guard because I stuck my hand out to shake his hand, and he looked me in the eye and spoke, and I thought, this is weird, but great. So,
and if we'd have had just a little bit more time, we'd have been out there.
I'd have been shooting with the Nerf
gun.
Oh, we'd have had a Nerf
Yeah.
fight. Yeah, you better believe it.
Grandma Dee Dee bought them from them graduating from kindergarten, 2nd grade. She got them a big old Nerf gun, so they were shooting up.
Because
the
she knows where they're
house.
going to stay most of the time. That's
Yeah.
right. Grandparents are good about that.
Yeah.
They'll get you stuff that makes lots of noise.
And causes lots of trouble. Because I'm trying to keep everybody's eye from getting shot out.
That's right. Well, at least it's Nerf. So maybe
we've got some that we bought. That's got the little Velcro tips on the end of it. That you wear the little shirt and it shoots on just like kind of like laser tag, but it's with the Nerf gun. But those things, the little Velcro things, they hit you in the eye. They kind of hurt.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, you got to watch those. That's look out for the Velcro.
Well,
So
thank you
know.
for the compliment. That's
Oh, absolutely.
They're my boys, my man. They're important to me.
That's right, man. You
So
got it.
Talk about your latest project. What are you guys working on right now?
This is our CD that's going to be released this summer's Front Porch Confessions. So we're really looking forward to that. It's going to be on iTunes, CD Baby, all the normal digital download stuff, since that seems
Pandora.
Oh, Pandora.
Yeah.
I love Pandora.
Get it on Pandora and then some Spotify stuff. So once again, they're using the get it
digital
out.
age. I like to. This is me personally. I go buy the CD because I want to open up the album cover. I want to take out the little booklet in there.
I like the sound the plastic makes when
wanna-
you're pulling it apart.
I want to read. I want to read who all played on the album, who produced the album.
Thank yous.
Right.
Yeah,
love
I
the
want to
thank
read
yous.
all that.
Yeah.
That's me. But in the day and age we live in, everybody wants it on their iPod and whatever.
Well, and you're crazy if you don't do, because if you're playing somewhere live and somebody hears your music and they're like, I like that song, bam, iTunes, $1.29 or whatever they charge, or go to the Google Play Store and you can either get the album or get the song. So once again, if somebody's listening that's kind of held off from that, go get it. do it because it gets your stuff out there, it gets your publicity, it gets your music out. So you know,
it is, and
it's easier to buy your stuff too. So
it
you
is,
know,
That's mad cool. So
that's
tell
where
me
we're
about
at.
Front Porch Confessions. I gotta know what inspired that. Though.
You can ask that man right there. It's a lot of stuff coming out on this album that's gonna shake the foundations of our families.
It's a little salacious.
It is.
Sultry.
Yeah, there you go.
I want to hear about
That's
that.
right.
I just come up. Well, I just thought about it. Just popped out of nowhere, and I had a couple different. We were talking about a couple different titles for the album, and I said that kind of fits the album, the songs that are on there, and we actually let the fans pick it. We put it on Facebook, and we'll just let them vote on it, and that's what they voted on. So
plus in the South, we grew up on front porches.
Yeah.
Everybody sit on the front porch and watch people go down the street, and
Or
either
play-
they talked about
play
them, or they knew
music.
them, or they waved.
Yeah.
And like all my family, I had a lot of musicians in my family, just like Frank's, and we would sit around at night and fight off mosquitoes and play the guitar. So songs were written on the front porch, songs were discussed on the front porch.
Matter of fact, Loves Me Loves Me Night was written.
Yeah, it was written on the porch.
on the porch.
So there you go. So Front Porch Confessions is just very fitting title. Although we had the other titles like Out of the Patch, Fresh Out the Patch, things like that, or and you try to be nice to some people's recommendations. Like, what about this? Yeah, that's good. Maybe the next one.
Yeah.
So
Next time.
maybe we'll do a contest. But this was.
I like that you involve the fans in that, letting them pick that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Frank shot that out there. I was like, yeah, that's good. And that
I
was
always like to get them involved because
from artwork to whatever, even the artwork on the album.
Right.
Was
we kind of
voted on like that. So
that is really cool.
Yeah.
And back to what you're saying about the front porch. A lot of people, because I was raised up north, but I came down south.
Yeah,
all the
you
time,
know what I'm talking about.
People don't get that whole front porch action. That's a big deal.
That's a big deal.
Really.
Like my mom told me my mom was raised in Jackson, Tennessee, and her mom was real strict, and all they could do was sit on the front porch.
Yes,
and it was kind of like a blessing and a curse, but you learned a lot about people.
You do,
and you honed those kind of oral traditions of telling stories and stuff.
Right.
On the front porch.
and that's the way we grew up, because it was listening to stories, and like my grandpa and they lived in the country. So, and then when they finally moved to the city, after a little bit of time, it was still kind of away from a bunch of other houses, and they had a swing in the yard, and he would always call it Liar's Corner, because all the old men would come out there and they'd out tell each other stories.
That's an album cover.
Yeah, and he would, and he would just say that, and he said, "Boy, stay away from over there. That's the Liar's Corner. That's they're Billy Earl and all them. I mean, and those comical names that people think about the South, we grew up with those people. I mean, that's not a joke.
They really exist.
Danny Earl and Bobby Joe, and I mean, my grandmother had a set of aunts that were Mama D and Ima D. I mean, that were their names. I mean, Alan, and she was a Zelma. So, I mean, we just had all these characters. So that has shaped our music too.
My grandmother's name on my mother's side, her name was Oler.
Oler, say it again.
Oler.
I love it. I love it. We got a bunch of old names. I love it.
That could have been with an A, but old people in the South put an R on it. Casiner, Oler. I mean, all those things. So
we got my mama's mama is Lobeler. Then we got a Ozelia.
Oh, Lord.
Then we got a Millicent.
Yeah.
Which I haven't even heard Millicent in like ever.
Yeah. That's right. I've heard that name before. Yeah.
And we got an Otha somewhere. Oh, there's a
Well,
bunch of
speaking of Otha, there's a festival coming up. Matter of fact, today I have to plug this and say this. Today I've played in this festival. There's a guy from Nashville named he's a lawyer, and he shuts off the street. Otha Turner and the Fife and Drum Band from North Mississippi.
Yeah.
Otha's passed on, but his family still does it. But he was legendary. I mean, so he was, and that festival was taking place today, and I was honored to get to play that street festival. It was fantastic. Cool. But there's some cool people. Yeah.
That is cool.
Just
you
a click away.
So cool, man.
Just a click away.
Enjoying talking to you guys.
It's worth a Google.
I will do it.
Yeah.
Well, I've got just one final question for you guys before you perform some music for us.
Awesome.
Why do you guys want to be a featured artist on MSMF Radio?
I'm gonna let you answer that one, Brian.
Well, because I don't see how nobody could not want to be, because it's the Mississippi Music Foundation. Yeah. So we are from Mississippi, and anything that's promoting original music from Mississippi, it's always going to be 2 thumbs up for us. So we've told other people about the page and to go like it and to share it with people.
Thank you.
So
we like to cross promote, other bands
Sure.
and stuff, especially if they're doing original music. Like Red Lady
Yeah.
Sky, that's another original.
Yeah, it's another band from Cleveland that's very progressive rock, and they do alternative sound, and they're really good. They're really, really good. Good friends of
We
ours.
actually got some friends up around Memphis. Joe Austin.
Yeah, they're up in North Mississippi area.
They're called the Mudflap Kings. I don't know if you've heard of them, but they
like
do
that.
some original stuff and.
I'm
But
a
we
indie
were-
girl. I love it. If it's indie,
Oh,
if
yeah.
it's weird, if it's off the wall, it's off the cuff, I love it.
But this is a big deal to us today. We were excited. Even last time when we had to reschedule or things got kind of fell through, I thought, well, man, I hope it really does happen because we were excited to get to do it. So coming up here today, we've been talking about it all week. We said, man, we can't wait. This is going to be good. So it has exceeded our expectations meeting you and
Yeah,
Mr. Peter and
thank you very
Saru,
much.
your husband,
Thank you.
and your boys.
Thank
So
you.
Talking to your husband on Facebook. So.
Yeah, he's a Facebooker too. He's
Oh,
he's
yeah.
always telling me your Facebook is so boring.
He's
I was like, look,
well-
I have all the stuff. I have lots of art on my feed. I have lots of music on
There
my
you
feed.
go.
A lot of the stuff that I like. So, but thank you. You guys are so much fun, and my boys, I know they enjoyed.
Oh
being
man, awesome!
Yeah, we
we'll still
did
get that
too.
Nerf gun fight one day.
Yeah, one day.
There you go. I'll bring my 7-year-old. She'll be right up her alley.
That's right.
But it's been wonderful.
Thank you. You
We've
guys are so
enjoyed
much
being
fun.
here.
Thanks for coming through, and I know we're going
Absolutely.
to have you guys perform some music before you get out of here. So
Sure.
Sounds great.
Absolutely.
All right, and now we have a performance from Truck Patch Revival. Here we have One Star Delta Night.
3, 4.
It's another one of those nights. Everything just feels so right. Wanna take you by the hand and let you know that I'm your man. Got enough in the tank to get us to the river bay. One star in the Delta sky. Wish I may, wish I might be holding your body tight next to mine. Slow dancing in this cotton field lets me know this thing is real. Every time I look in your eyes, there's a one-star Delta night. Driving down this old heavy road, night moves playing on my radio. Your eyes sparkle by the dashboard lights. I wanna spend the rest of my life, girl. Move a little closer. I've gotta show you just how love is. One star in the Delta sky. I wish I may, I wish I might be holding your body tight next to mine. Slow dancing in this cotton field lets me know this thing is real. Every time I look in your eyes, there's a one-star Delta night. Move a little closer, dance a little slower. Girl, I've gotta show you just how love is. One star in the Delta sky. I wish I may, I wish I might be holding your body tight next to mine. Slow dancing in this cotton field lets me know this thing is real. Every time I look in your eyes, remember one-star Delta night. There we go.
Awesome. That is so gorgeous.
Thank you.
And you guys are going to play one more song for us?
Yeah.
Sure.
And what do we have?
You do Good Old Days?
Yeah, we're gonna do Good Old Days.
All right. Good old days.
All right. Life was a dream, wearing flip-flops and cut-off jeans, riding our bikes down a country road with a carton of bait, a couple of poles, and swimming in a catfish pond. Never had to worry, having too much fun. Ain't it funny how the years go by? I think about it now and it makes me smile, 'cause those were the good old days. We were dirt poor, but we had it made, and we tried everything underneath the sun, playing G.I. Joe, 6 for a gun. Looking back where I come from, life was so simple for a boy so young. I kinda hate the way things change. I sure like living in the good old days. Yep. High school baseball team, Daddy taught me all about a home run swing. Girlfriends, proms and dates, Mama's getting worried 'cause I'm out too late. Well, Timmy got him a new used car. We pooled our money but didn't get far, with a flat tire and a one headlight. But what I wouldn't give for another ride, 'cause those were the good old days. We were dirt poor but we had it made, and we tried everything underneath the sun, playing G.I. Joe, sticks for a gun. Looking back where I come from, life was so simple for a boy so young. I kinda hate the way things change. I sure like living in the good old days. Graduation, my first truck, laying on the tailgate looking up, holding hands underneath the stars. I stole a kiss, she stole my heart, but she moved to another state, packed her things and drove away. I never knew what became of her. I think about the summer that she was my girl. Those were the good old days. We were dirt poor but we had it made, and we tried everything underneath the sun, playing G.I. Joe, the sticks for a gun. Looking back where I come from, life was so simple for a boy so young. I kinda hate the way things change. I sure like living in the good old days. Yep.
That's a jam. I
Oh,
love it.
thank you. It's just growing up.
I love it. And if I say pretty please, would you play one more song for me?
We sure will. Matter of fact, this is going to be the new single coming out
new single
right
for-
now.
for
So
summer.
Right,
It's called
debut.
Southern Summer.
debut. That's it. Ready, man?
I'm ready.
All right, man.
That time of year to break out the flip-flops and the tank top gear, head to the rhythm, wash away our blues. We'll bury our toes underneath the sand, soaking up the sun as a rolling plant. Throw a blanket on the ground, we'll stay right here. So dance like fools in the bright moonlight and catch some fireflies in our hand. This has always been your favorite song, and we can turn it up and we can sing along. Lord, I was born a rambling man. Southern summer, where the days get longer and the nights get hotter. We'll light a fire and call some friends. Southern summer, what do you say we jump down in the water and watch the stars dance on your skin? This is southern summer. Southern summer, where the days get longer and the nights get hotter. We'll light a fire and call some friends. Southern summer, what do you say we jump down in the water and watch the stars dance on your skin? Southern summer. It's southern summer, y'all. Southern summer now. It's southern summer, y'all. Southern summer.
That's it.
Woo. That's a hot one. I love
Thank you.
Be looking for it on iTunes.
Yep.
it. Do. Well, thank
everywhere
you
else.
guys so much. You guys sing
Thank you
beautifully
so
and
much.
play
Thank you.
beautifully.
That's too kind.
Thank you.
Really
thank
We're
you.
gonna take you everywhere we go.
All right. All
That's right.
Put me in your back pocket.
There you go. That's right.
I love it.
That's
well,
right.
Thank you guys, and thank you to our fans for tuning in. It's
Absolutely.
great getting to know you guys. To fans, be sure to look for us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
Absolutely.
MSMF Radio, love Mississippi, love music. It's just that simple. Thanks so much, and let's do this again real soon.
Thank you.
MSMF Radio, music, one language.